And when I see people of color who benefit from that fire being fueled, I'm going to call bull every time.
Well, now
every
that
time.
Right. I mean, yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. I mean, because it's far more, common things going on to black people that need to be addressed. That don't get addressed. I mean, so yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, but that's why they're called property pimps, because that's when they show up. When things go bad and they gonna be able to find the angle to be able to cash a check. That's when they arrive. I mean, they've been doing it, and ain't nobody called them out. And as long as they, and until somebody decides that, like we not gonna keep doing it, then I mean it'll keep going. I mean, because when those guys go away, it'll be somebody else. Markel Hutchins, the next generation of poverty pimps. They'll come along and that'll be that. I mean, it's a cycle. Hey, I mean, people realize that it's a way to get money, and right or wrong, they doing it.
All right, we are the Sports Kings. I'm Big Mike. He's Rob Calloway. We will get to sports eventually today, but this, in my opinion, and because it is our show, is a much more pressing issue. We're going to take a short break. Remember, we're on Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app via your Windows, Apple, or your Android device. Make sure you guys go to Spreaker, sign up for a free account, and that way you guys can search for Sports Kings Live, follow us, and then get into our chat room. You guys can be involved in the show the way Matt and Coop are. You guys can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Sports Kings Live. We'll be right back.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Big Mike.
Yep, and this is RC, Rod Calloway.
First of all, we'd like to thank everybody for being down with the Kings and for supporting Sports Kings Live.
Your listens, downloads, likes, and follows have allowed this show to grow by leaps and bounds in just a few months.
Now, if you have a product or a business and you'd like to promote it on this show,
it's simple. Just email us at sportskingslive@gmail.com. And once again, thank you for being down with the Kings.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of Sports Kings Live. Big Mike here with you alongside Rob Calloway. We're being heard via Spreaker.com and on the Spreaker app for your Windows, your Apple, or your Android devices. You guys make sure you're signing up for those free Spreaker accounts and following Sports Kings Live. And once you do, hop on in the chat room, man. Holler at us like Matt and Coop have done. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also on Tumblr as well. I don't know how to use it yet, but we do have a Tumblr account.
I'm going to mess around with it this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to mess around with it.
So we got a Tumblr account. I see that our posts go to it from our Twitter and our Instagram, but I don't know what it's all about. But you guys can follow us there as well. We're having a good discussion here. I think a well-needed discussion on, I guess the umbrella that it's under is the shootings that happened last night at a church in Charleston, South Carolina. A lot of people were tweeting about how long it took the news to reveal the race of the perpetrator. To me, that's like nine people died. 9 people died. Like if a green dude did it, 9 people died.
Right.
Where's the perspective?
It's one of those things. It's being investigated like it's a fluid investigation, as they call it, a fluid investigation. And so, things take time to develop. Like if you know it, you know the church. You know it was called Emmanuel AME, so you know it was a black church. So, regardless, like you said, it don't matter who it was. It was 9 people got shot. So, at the end of the day,
Because what it makes it seem like is if somebody had ran up in a white church and did this, no one would care. No one of our color would care. That's what it makes. That's what you sound like. And I'm not saying that that's true.
What? Because guess what? For the majority,
I'm gonna choose not to believe that. But what I'm saying
All
is
right.
that's the appearance that you give off when everything has to be like. Look, I understand, man. I understand the wounds are still, and the pain is still there from the stuff in Cleveland and the stuff in New York and the stuff that happened in Ferguson. I understand, and in Charleston, before this, I understand. But be an adult. Be able to capture two separate thoughts in your mind at the same time without them having to be the same. You making them the same. Because this ain't that. It's not, man. This is not that. And being surprised that the kid got apprehended without being murdered by the police. Look, man, the police don't need to be murdering nobody. Black or white, or Asian, or Mexican, or whatever your nationality or your race might be. See, it's almost like it would be accepted if for every black dude that got shot in the back running away from the police, they gave us one white dude too. That's how you sound when you keep those kind of those imaginary scores. Like one would be all right as long as you give us the other one too. I can take you shooting my cousin in the back as long as you shoot little Jebediah in the back too. Man, get the hell out of here, man. That's ridiculous.
Jebediah.
That's the first thing that came to my mind, man. It's just, I don't know, man. We just gotta be better, man. We gotta be better and understand that it's not enough to say, yeah, I don't see race. Because of course you do.
Well, I mean, but at the end of the day, and I'm not speaking for everybody, right? I'm not speaking for everybody. But just based on what I've observed in my life, anytime there's a crime committed against, I give you a perfect example. You know who Jamie Hood is?
The name rings a bell. Tell me who Jamie Hood is.
That's the black guy up in Athens that shot the two cops.
That was on the run.
Went on the manhunt.
Yeah, okay.
Then they went on the manhunt for him, and then Channel 46 or somebody had it live when the police found him.
Right.
Yeah, that's that situation right there, right? when people found when that happened, there was no outcry from the black community, and he ended up one of the cops that he shot was black. He shot one black one, one white one. All right, there was no outcry. Oh my God, there was no outcry. That this dude had killed the white cop. And so when you look at a situation where a white person kills a black person, it's always gonna be then we go speak up. And I hate that that's the world that we live in, but to a certain degree it is. And I know you're not necessarily like that. I'm not necessarily like that. One for the black people. But there are a lot of people like that.
That's right.
And I don't know why, but
I do.
That's,
I know exactly why, and I talk about it all the time. As parents, this is why. And Matt, where is it? He said culture is passed down from parents. And he's referencing this white dude being 21. But here's the thing about that, Matt. We do the same thing. We expect our kids to feel, not even ours. I ain't going to say it. I'm 38 years old. Not my pain. Nobody ain't sick no dog on me or spray with no fire hose. But what happens is the people who that did happen to, they expect the generation after them not only to know the pain, but to act as though they experienced it as well.
Yeah.
And then it continues to go generation by generation. This is why I'm always asking the question. When Marcus Smart, act like he was going to jump on that white dude for calling him the N-word, which inevitably we find out he didn't. But even if he thought he did, dude, you're 20 years old. Why are you that mad? Why are you that mad? What happened to you? Yeah, I know what happened to you. Your mama told you, your daddy told you, whoever told you that this was something crazy. When all that stuff happened with the SAEs up in Oklahoma, and that boy took off his shirt and was ranting and raving on his social media, that ain't come from him. That emotion ain't come from him. That's emotion that someone else gave him. And he feels obligated to hold on to it. No, man, education don't have to be emotional. Yeah, these kids can know about what happened in Selma. Well, kids, me too. I wasn't there. You know what I mean? People who weren't there can know and understand. But to act like you were on that bridge getting beaten, that's a burden that no one should hope that their next generation carries with them. Because you know what happens then? Every time a white person do something, you're going to automatically attach race to it. I got white people that are around me that I trust more than some of the black people around me. And this is on everything I love. It had nothing to do with them being white. Don't have nothing to do with the other people being black. If you're a douchebag, that's the color I see you as. Douchebag color. Whatever color that is, that's what you are. And if you good people, I like having good people around me, man. That's all it is, man. People are people. But the one thing that I do, the standard that I do hold my white friends to is not to be scared to say things around me or ask me questions. And the same thing vice versa. Because what we're talking about is the person that you are. You know what I mean? Someone that's not black saying the N-word doesn't qualify them immediately as a racist. It does not. In no way, shape, or form. And trust me,
either. I'm with you.
I had to mature into that. This wasn't always me. If you met, for example, I saw A Time to Kill the day before I reported to a fall camp, and the school I went to was in a town called Cookville, and I found out shortly thereafter that some of the brothers called
Cookville, Tennessee.
Yeah, called it Crackerville. You know what I mean? Yeah. If that gives you any impression of what I'm talking about. And I'd already visited the school, obviously. And I remember after seeing the movie, me being young Decatur Mike, like, boy, I wish one of these white boys would say something to me when I get up there. I'm coming right back. I know I am. I'm going to murder somebody. But then I got there. These dudes was cool. You know what I mean? And maybe because of that experience, and I learned a lot about the type of things that are allowed when you trust a person. You know, I remember one of the white boys that played outside linebacker for us, dude named Jeff, when they were on the bus, and he said, you know what, I wonder if black guys run faster than us because you guys got bigger butts. Now, in the normal circumstances, somebody gonna get a damn attitude. What the hell that white boy say? But because we know who Jeff is, Jeff's our dude. Everybody was like, "Damn, I wonder if that is the reason." You know what I mean? We had a conversation about it, which brings me to the point that I'm always trying to make about anything: homosexuals, people. Let's say people different from you. Be willing to have dialogue, man. Be an adult. Yeah. Be able to have dialogue, and it goes both ways. As a black person, as a transgender person, as a gay person, you can't be the person to wanna picket. You know what I mean? And have and forward your cause because someone's earnestly asking you a question about your lifestyle. That you got to get an attitude about it.
You know, I told you before. I mean, that my neighbor across the street, you know, he was one of my three best friends growing up. You know, my mama heard him say the N-word, you know, when we were outside wrestling. We were out there, had our little tag team championship match going on outside, you know, and he was out there saying the N-word, you know, because he felt comfortable doing it because that's what we did. And, you know, my mama, being my mama, was like, oh, no, that little MFer, he can't come back out in this yard ever. And, you know, they still own their house across the street, and he still will not come up in his yard. He pulled down at the bottom of the street. We were just talking the other day. He pulled down at the bottom of and I own this house now, you know, and he pulled right down at the bottom of the driveway. He was like, what's up, man? And I walked down the end of the driveway. But, you know, my experience with him was one that I value because, you know, I told you before, Mike, like the one thing if I could do it all over again in my life, I mean, because, you know, I went to Southwest DeKalb High School. I was in the band, you know, all black high school in black South DeKalb County, you know, and then I ended up going to Black Alabama State University. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I never had the opportunity to really interact with a lot of Caucasians. I mean, like I said, other than my neighbor and his sisters, that was it for me. Mm-hmm. So